So I wanted to share a little insight that I received last week as I was for a walk. And I had a little bit of a disagreement with my partner. And I went out on this walk and I was in a little bit of a huff because you know how you do when you're angry and you're walking. And I got to the bench that I normally sit at to do my meditations. And I sit down and I shut my eyes. And the vision that came to my head was a blank slate. And so I sat there focusing on that in my mind's eye. And suddenly my body just released the tension. It released all negative thoughts from my body. And I was like, that's interesting. So I walked home and I did a little research because I'm like, this cannot be coming up in my head. This can't be my own creation of an idea, clearly. So I found that the term in psychology, blank slate means tabula rasa. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But basically it means that at birth, you come into this world as a blank slate. And so as you grow up, as you take in different experiences, as you interact with your family, your friends, and take on other perceptions that you learn along the way, this is what shapes how you feel about yourself and how you feel about others, which makes sense to me. But going back to this blank slate idea, the blank slate theory, I wanted to take this a little bit further in how to apply this to myself in my own life, because when I had that experience on my walk and sitting on that bench, I realized that this blank slate theory or method could be used in your everyday life. If you have a few moments to step back and visualize this blank slate or blank canvas in your mind's eye. So I want to ask you today, what if you could wipe all of your past beliefs, all of your negative thoughts, all of your emotions about yourself and your situation? What would you do and what would you start with? Would you remove the idea that you're not good enough? Would you remove the idea that, you know, this person is eternally mad at me? Would you remove the idea that you're not smart enough? What would you remove? Think about these things that you want to delete from your brain. And I want you to shut your eyes and I want you to think of this blank slate, blank canvas, blank piece of paper, however you want to imagine it. And I want you to put all of these different beliefs, negative thoughts, whatever they are, on this canvas, on this blank slate. And I want you to wipe it clean. You can even do the motion, or you could even do this physically where you write down all of your beliefs and you crumple up that piece of paper, you rip that piece of paper, or you set that piece of paper on fire. Just don't burn your house down. But however you want to physically, mentally get rid of this negativity or these negative self-beliefs, more power to you. But for me right now, we are just going to, in your mind's eye, visualize wiping that slate clean. So now, when you have this blank slate, what are you thinking? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as in the next moment? What are the new beliefs that you want to hold? How do you want to walk back into that difficult conversation? How do you want to feel about your body? Whatever the situation is, what are the new beliefs? How do you want to show up in that situation as a new, improved version of you? Because in any moment, you can think of this blank slate and change how you feel about the situation and yourself. And it doesn't take very much time. Even if you're in a conversation with someone, and let's say you're having an argument or it's a difficult one, and you want to go use your blank slate method, you ask for some space. You say, you know what? I really think that I need some space, some time to think about this. Can you give me a few moments and I'll come back and speak to you about this? They say, okay, you go have a few moments, visualize this blank canvas, get into a new mindset, show up differently, show up more positively, or however best to handle the situation in front of you. And see how that goes. See how that turns out for you. And for me, this is really helpful because I'm a visual learner. And seeing a blank slate physically or, mindfully in your mind, wiping that slate clean completely releases me of all the negativity that I have in that moment, and that I can think clearly about how I want to show up. Because how I showed up when I returned back to my place and spoke to my partner, it was a hell of a lot more compassionate and loving, and I was able to hear him more clearly, and we could come to an understanding. And it turned out really well. So I hope that you can use this blank slate idea in your everyday and see how it works for you. I'd really love to hear what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching and listening, and see you in the next video.